If somebody says this body is a prison, which, yeah, like I said, which is true, but you can either stay in that mindset or you can transcend it and still continue while having this body.
I am new to the Shaolin warrior way. My exposure to you is my first exposure to this tradition. And there were several things that struck me, and I thought, whoa, I need to understand this more. And one was the definition of a Shaolin warrior is someone who can fight like a demon, but with a heart of a Buddha. And I thought that's really interesting, those two things combined. And mostly in my life, I know people who can fight like demons, and I know people who seem to, at least much of the time, have the heart of a Buddha. But having them both together, and that's what I'd like to hear and learn more about to understand that more.
Yes. So there are certainly many different interpretations of exactly this term, but I can just share with you the one how I
Mhm.
view it for myself. Regardless of any spirituality that we have in this world, apparently it seems like right now we still have this form, we have this body, we have it for a limited lifetime. So, in my interpretation, it's like this. Even if everything would be spiritual, the fact right now for me is that I still have a very high sensation for my body, let's say. And so, naturally, if I regard this now as a gift that has been given to me, a gift for a limited lifetime, so I can walk on this earth carrying this around, number one is I need to be able to take care of this. So, taking care of this means that I nourish it well, maybe I train it well, depending, of course, what your emphasis and what your own goals maybe are with this body on this earth. And speaking purely right now in the field of martial arts, because this is one very essential point inside the Shaolin tradition. This is what Shaolin until today is known for, is that the martial art practice is quite a way of life, meaning it follows us throughout our whole life, meaning the practice of martial arts. So it's purely physical training in order to strengthen our body, in order to get us more flexible, get us faster, get us more resilient. These are all physical features. So, but the special thing when we talk about Shaolin tradition is that it's not actually only about martial arts and physicality. The special thing is that all of this, yeah, in the past has been developed and also trained primarily inside an environment that we call a temple. So now a temple usually is everything beyond physicality. In a temple, you usually, regardless of which tradition, in a temple, you usually find the how would you say the spiritual people, the ones that are dealing with the mind, that ones that are dealing maybe with what you would call consciousness, the ones that would be dealing with something that to the normal physical world or with our eyes the majority of people do not perceive. And the special thing now about Shaolin again is this combination. We have the very, very physical area, and at the same time, we have the area related to the temple, more precisely related to what nowadays is known as Zen Buddhism, and spiritual character and spiritual aspect to all of this. So, and to put this now in context, just because you know how to work with your body, and just because your body is able to deliver a lot of performance, it doesn't mean you are able to handle your emotions. It doesn't mean you understand what impact the mind has on yourself. So this is the reason why we say we train our body on the one side, and we have another area that literally is training our mind, which then is related to our emotional states and therefore also related to the heart. And what is the most peaceful and pleasant state of the heart? Actually, I said it already: peaceful and loving. Peaceful and loving, all encompassing, which means your heart has the quality to embrace quite a lot of things. If the heart is separated, or if the heart is, let's say, sinking in terms of separation, again, we are finding ourselves in the world of separation, which means there is conflict. But when we point towards the heart, this is also where in many traditions it's related to the idea of love, and love simply spreads everywhere, similar like the picture of the sun. Doesn't matter who it is, the sun shines equally for everyone. And this is that inner quality related to the heart. So you can fight and you can defend and you can be in physical conflict on the one side, but the quality that you also possess, you can also have or sense that everything is connected and everything belongs together.
I'm immensely inspired listening to you speak. It's really beautiful. It's like beautiful music. I'm going to track back a little bit. And when I asked you this question, you said, I'm here with this physical body, and this body is a gift. And the moment you said that, I thought a lot comes after that once you recognize that it's a gift to be here in a physical body. But what about that person who says, I feel like it's a prison. I feel imprisoned being here in this body. What would you say to somebody who has that kind of response?
I can't say that this person said something wrong, because in a way you could regard it as this. And the prison for the human being normally is an average of 100 years. So there is definitely, because of us possessing now or feeling being trapped inside this body, this is why it can be, depending on your perspective upon life, and also depending on what is it that this body or this persona went through, it can definitely feel like it is a prison. So that statement by itself, I would say, yes, is true. But nevertheless, now the question is, do you just want to accept it like this? And yeah, just accept it like this? Or do you want to find an alternative perspective where you still keep this, how I say, keep this insight that you have, but still transcend it? There are two aspects. If there is physical, there is non-physical at the same time. If somebody says this body is a prison, which, yeah, like I said, which is true, but you can either stay in that mindset or you can transcend it and still continue while having this body. And this is for me the point where all these ideas, or the inquiry to figure out, is there something more than what meets the eye? This is the point. why it has such a tremendous power to liberate yourself. Because this is what I would call the whole purpose in, yeah, in learning or trying to discover new traditions or trying to decipher what did the old masters and grandmasters and teachers of the past, what is it they wanted to pass on to us? The liberation.
Discover on-demand videos and docuseries, explore a full schedule of daily life classes, and become part of an incredible community. At Sounds True One, we invite you inward to find your way your way.